今日我哋會繼續睇傳道書嘅第7章。
Today we continue to study the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7.
過去喺每一個月嘅裏邊，第3個禮拜我哋都會睇傳道書。
So every third week of the month we will study the book of Ecclesiastes.
我哋希望能夠喺傳道書裏邊攞到一個智慧嘅人生。
For study, we want to know how to be a wisdom or wise man.
過去我喺每一章嘅裏邊，我哋從唔同嘅角度去睇普遍人去點睇人生。但係第7章嘅時候，我哋去到一個智慧嘅人生應該點樣去追求。
In the last 6 chapters, we study how ordinary people will their life. But start from chapter 7, we will see how the wise man how to pursue their life.
現代人呢，手機係佔佢人生一個好緊要嘅環節。
So this generation now, the cell phone play very important in people's life.
有人咁樣講話，我唔記得咗帶銀包，但係我唔可以唔帶手機。
So people say that I can forget to bring my wallet, but I cannot forget to bring my cell phone.
都明嘅，因為我哋可以用手機去 pay 噶嘛，係咪
？So yeah, we can use our cell phone to pay.
弟兄姊妹，但係我哋就諗，手機其實係一個好方便、好有用嘅一個嘅工具。
Actually, cell phone is a tool that is convenient for us.
唔知你會點樣用呢？
I'm not sure how you're going to use it.
好多人會攞手機佔大部分嘅時間，係擺咗喺啲嘅社交嘅網絡嘅裏邊。
Most of the time, people use the cell phone for social media.
你唔信咧？你睇一睇你自己嘅滿週每個月嘅 report， 你睇下你係用咗幾多嘅時間喺社交嘅網絡裏邊，一目了然。
If you pay attention to your usage history, then you may realize you have spent lots of time on the social media.
所以而家啲父母想 check 你好易嘅啫。
For the parents to check your browsing history is kind of simple.
但係我哋喺社交網絡，你會睇啲乜嘢嘢咧？
So what we're going to browse on the social media?
可能我哋會用好多時間睇下，哇！有冇啲人 post 啲好有趣嘅嘢喺當中？
You may pay attention to some funny or interesting postings.
或者我哋好介懷我哋 post 嘅嘢有幾多個人睇，幾多人嘅 follow。
So you may also want to know how many people follow your message.
但係其實咧喺社交網絡裏邊咧，除咗俾呢啲嘅資料你，但係社交網絡亦都有好多好有用嘅嘢。
Actually, social media also provide lots of important or useful information.
我唔知你有冇用baking soda。
I'm not sure you use baking soda.
原來 baking soda 以前淨係聽過阿嘉華哥有講過 baking soda， 原來 baking soda 有好多嘅作用。
Actually, baking soda has lots of usage or benefit that you don't expect.
話對你健康又話有用。
It's really good
我
for
唔
your
講
health.
乜嘢健康免得你自己跟住用嘅，有咩事唔關我事啊。
I'm going to tell the detail right now.
咁你哇 baking soda 你溝vinegar 你可以通渠係咪？仲好過可樂。
So the baking soda mixed with the vinegar can be used for
to mix with the vinegar.
Cleaning the pipe.
OK 咁你又有啲嘅時候咧，又俾 baking soda 咧去趕啲蛇蟲鼠蟻係嘛？
So baking soda can be also insect rebellion.
有時都幾有用㗎。
So seems very useful.
我有啲唔識分杜鵑定牡丹哇！開花嘅時候幾多蟻喺上邊，揼啲 baking soda 睇住佢走不過轉頭翻轉頭啫嘛。
You see lots of ants in your area, so you can use baking soda to get rid of them.
咁其實如果我哋小心去用咧，有好多嘅可以增長你生活裏邊一啲嘅知識智慧。
If you know how to use the social media properly, so you can use it to increase or improve your knowledge. 但無奈嘅時候，人咧好唔係咁中意睇呢啲中意睇啲多啲。 A lot of people want to get knowledge, but from the social media, they want to look for this kind of information.
哇！我睇下，哇！嗰個即係喺 co-pace 裏邊啦，影到呢兩個人，幾好啊！但係第一個反應就掉頭走閃左閃右閃，自己嗨埋，喂，即係嗨咗係。
So in one of the concert of Coldplay, then the camera is catch those two persons rather, and they try to hide themselves.
你唔閃就好地地。
They don't hide.
你閃嘅時候咧，即刻俾人話啊！哇，閃得咁快，梗係有兩個原因，一個咧梗係婚外情，第二個梗係好怕醜啦。
When they try to hide themselves, people guess there should be only two reasons. One is maybe they're too shy, and another reason maybe they having a health affair.
咁樣啊，俾人講法，實俾人起底啦，係咪？
So because that, then people try to trace who they are.
啊，弟兄姊妹，唔知我哋睇咗呢啲，對我哋有咩幫助？
However, when you those news or information, do you get any benefit from that?
係咪即係下次如果影到我就唔閃啦，係咪點都唔閃？係咪咁樣咧？
So what you learn is, well, if I were there, I were them, then I would not hide.
定係叫你唔好有婚外情咧？
Or just learn, I should not have an affair.
定係話再進一步嘅時候，當我哋敬畏神嘅時候，我哋就遠離呢啲嘅事，呢啲事又唔會纏繞住你啦。
If you're a follower of Christ, then you should not have this affair or cheating happen to you.
原來人生裏邊睇智慧有好多唔同嘅階段，聖經又點睇智慧？
Actually, when you look at the wisdom, then we have different stages. But today we will look at how the Bible taught us.
傳道書所羅門用好多嘅觀察睇到人生。
For Ecclesiastes, Solomon used have observed lots of what happened in their life.
喺人生嘅裏邊，好多嘅人都有佢哋覺得智慧嘅地方。
Everyone believe they have some wisdom.
傳道書喺第7章裏邊同我睇呢啲係咪真正嘅智慧？
And on the chapter 7 of Ecclesiastes, we will look what is the true meaning of wisdom.
29節，我哋嘗試從3個嘅角度裏邊睇點樣所羅門帶我哋點樣去追求智慧幾個唔同嘅層面。
And through this 29 verses, we will look at the wisdom in 3 different prospects.
你會留意咧，一開始咧傳道書所羅門咧用咗好多嘅對比嘅。
In chapter 7, Solomon used lots of comparisons.
我哋嘗試一齊讀第1到第3節。
Read together verse 1 to 3.
留心名譽強如美好嘅膏油，人死嘅日子勝過人生嘅日子。往遭喪的家去，強如往宴樂的家去，因為死是眾人嘅結局。活人也必將這事放在心上。憂愁強如喜笑，因為面帶愁容，終必使人喜樂。喺呢一度嘅時候咧，所羅門作咗一啲嘅比較。
Solomon makes several comparisons here.
你會留意大約有幾方面嘅比較，佢講到有膏油有人生嘅日子有宴樂之家，對比嘅係美名人死嘅日子同埋遭喪之家。
On one side, he mentioned the perfumed day of birth and housing of feasting. On the other side, he compared to the good name day of death, house of mourning.
你會留意所羅門鼓勵我哋去追求呢一邊多過另一邊。
So Solomon wanted us to trace or follow, seek for the items on the right hand side.
咁究竟所羅門想表達乜嘢？
But what's the meaning of Solomon?
你要留意喺第4節同至到第6節嘅時候咧，佢嘗試去重複去強調嘅。我哋先讀啊。
Maybe we'll read verse 4 to 6 together.
智慧人嘅心在遭喪之家，愚昧人嘅心在快樂之家。聽智慧人嘅責備，強如聽愚昧人嘅歌唱。愚昧人嘅笑聲，好像鍋下荊棘的爆聲，這也是虛空。你會留意咧，所羅門喺當中劃分咗有2類嘅人。
So here, Solomon divided people into 2 types.
所羅門喺當中講到有智慧人，亦都有愚昧人。
They are the wise man and also the fool.
原來係作咗咁多嘅對比嘅時候，原來追求膏油人生嘅日子宴樂嘅時候，係一種愚昧人所追求嘅事情。
The people they prefer the perfumed day of birth and housing of feasting is the fool.
所羅門唔係話嗰啲嘢唔好，但係有智慧嘅人佢嘅取向係另外。
So it doesn't mean that Solomon doesn't mean that they are bad, but actually the wise men have a different attitude.
如果你整體嘅時候，究竟所羅門所表達嘅係乜嘢？
In the general, what Solomon tried to say.
所羅門嘗試話俾我聽，愚昧人嘅時候，好享用嘅，或者好睇嘅，係即時嗰種嘅享樂。
So the fool prefer to pick the one that gives them the instant enjoyment.
即時有一種好嘅，而家我嘅娛樂，而家話係呢一種嘅人生，愚昧人去擺好多嘅時間喺度。
So like the feasting, they will give them the enjoyment very quick, but and spend those time on them.
但係智慧人，佢寧願花好多嘅時間、好多嘅精力去建立佢一個美好嘅名聲，去留意人死後我嘅去向、嘅取向，以致佢能夠懂得好好善用現今嘅時日。
However, a wise man will like get a good man, and they pay attention to the day of death, so they use their life to prepare for the death.
所羅門去講到一啲嘅愚昧人，佢哋嘅人生裏邊係一種虛空嘅人生。換句話講嘅時候，可以活，但係冇咗嗰種嘅意義或者價值。
Solomon mentioned that the fool also have a life that is meaningless, it's emptiness, because that means they don't have net value in their life.
當對比兩類嘅人生嘅時候，你係活喺一個乜嘢嘅人生？
When coming to the fool and the wise man, what kind of life you are in?
你問一問自己，你係喜歡活喺邊一種嘅人生，或者你而家每一日所努力嘅係活緊乜嘢嘅人生？
So you prefer what kind of living or what kind of living you are living right now?
我唔係問你邊種好，邊種唔好。
I'm not asking you which type.
我唔係問你應該活喺邊一度，我想你去諗一諗，你而家活緊係一個乜嘢嘅人生？
I'm also not asking what you should live in, but I'm asking what life you're living right now.
你係咪係活緊一個智慧人嘅人生，去活喺你嘅神俾你嘅意義同埋價值嘅當中？
Are you living in the wise way, or as a wise man that you know the way of God wants you to pursue?
所羅門要我哋去留意我哋每一日所做嘅事情。
Solomon wanted to pay attention to what we are doing every day.
我好相信每一個人都好想活一個智慧嘅人生。
I'm pretty sure everyone wants to be a wise man.
嗱，你會留意咧，所羅門跟住講佢留意，要我哋留意一啲嘅性格。
Also, Solomon wanted to pay attention to our character.
嗱，我哋一齊讀。
Maybe we all read together.
那所使智慧人變為愚妄，賄賂能敗壞人嘅為心。事情嘅終局強如事情嘅起頭，全心忍耐勝過居心驕傲。你不要心裏急躁惱怒，因為惱怒存在愚昧人嘅懷中。你留意呢，所羅門劃分咗有兩類嘅性格。
So Solomon also divided two types of characters.
原來賄賂勒索、驕傲、惱怒、愚昧人呢啲嘅性格，係不斷蠶食、敗壞緊佢整個嘅人，但係最慘，佢係唔知道。
So the extortion, the crime, or even anger is characteristic that destroy your life, and you even know.
甚至佢可能用賄賂或者用勒索一啲嘅方法讓佢能夠得到即時嘅好處，甚至佢以此為驕傲。
So people may use in proper way, like the bribing to get benefit. And
我們好強調一個智慧人有一種嘅特點。
However, the wise man is different.
忍耐。
They have the characteristic of being patient.
可能唔係即時睇到嘅結果，唔係預期中嘅結果，但係佢會忍耐去持守該走嘅路。
The wise man may not see the result immediately, but they will be patient to wait for the result.
我哋好簡單問一問嘅時候，點問一問自己？
Then you ask yourself,
你夠唔夠忍耐？
are you a patient people?
你忍有啲嘢你忍唔忍得到？
Are you patient? Can you be?
你而家係化咗定係忍耐咗咧？
You just don't pay attention to something, or you be patient.
所羅門要我哋留意，你嘅性格影響你嘅決定。
So King Solomon wants us to be aware that our character may impact our decision.
性格反映緊你做人嘅取向。
Your character reflecting your direction.
今日唔好容讓呢啲敗壞嘅唔好嘅性格係影響緊你走緊一條愚昧人嘅路。
So today, don't let all those character of a fool to impact your life.
喺最後嘅喺呢個階段嘅時候，所羅門強調嘅係事情嘅終局強於事情嘅起頭。所羅門強調嘅結局。
So also, Solomon emphasized the ending of the matter is better than its beginning. That means he care about the ending.
現代人好強調嘅贏在起跑線。
Modern people nowadays they want to care, they want to win, start from the beginning.
係啊，贏在起跑線係有一種嘅好處，但係你嘅結局去判斷你嘅總結。
Yes, the beginning is very important, but the ending also conclude your life.
打波嘅人你會知道。
So as a game player，
哇！如果你頭嗰2分輸晒嘅時候，你即刻整個人 upset 你就衰啦，係咪
？You're losing and you upset, then you will lost the game for sure.
但係如果你忍耐，繼續唔好犯錯，做應該做嘅事情，嗱，你可能慢慢去 catch up 翻啲分嘅時候 ，end up 你會贏喎。
So if you be patient and try to be keep on the strategy, then you may get the losing points back.
如果你睇溫布頓嘅時候，你最撈尾話兩雄大戰係咪？
So we pay attention to the tennis game.
嗱，如果你睇呢啲咧咁 top 嘅人打波嘅時候，你會發現一樣好犀利嘅。
We used to look at the most famous sport player. You will see
好多時叻嗰啲咧。佢第一盤緊輸。
The good one may lost the first game sometime.
你會留意Nadal嗰啲咧，佢金完輸你2場，先慢慢 catch up 翻嘅時候，嗰種嘅鬥啊 ，end up 佢會贏㗎。你睇結局定睇開始啊
？Even they lost games, but anyway, they will catch up and win the game, and so that's the reason why I said we should pay attention to the ending.
人生嘅結局。係換嚟我哋嗰個人生睇我哋嘅意義嘅價值。
So the ending is the way to measure how way of the life.
嗱，喺呢度嘅總結嘅時候咧，所羅門講咗2樣嘢。
It's a conclusion. King Solomon mentioned 2 things.
當我哋要追求一個智慧嘅人生，跟住所羅門強調嘅，佢話聽智慧人嘅責備強於聽愚昧人嘅歌唱。
So when we try to pursue a wise life, Solomon said it's better to hear a wise man's rebel than to listen to the song of fools.
即係當我哋繼續形容嘅愚昧人嘅歌唱，不啦不啦咁去唱，即係巴完就冇㗎啦，係咪？咁但係咧，智慧人咧聽完嘅時候，係對你嘅生命裏邊去建立緊、改善緊、推動緊，甚至幫你升華嘅。
So the wise men, they will review their life and try to improve their lives.
但係好可惜，冇人中意俾人責備嘅。
However, no one want to be rebelled.
但係如果有人去提你，你去聽，你嘅生命有改進，呢個係你嘅祝福。
If someone rebel you and you listen and try to use their wise as the improvement in your life, then your life is transcend.
點解所羅門去強調叫人去租桑之家好過去宴樂之家？事情嘅終局強於起頭。
So why Solomon told us go to a house of mourning better than to go to a house of feasting?
去租桑之家有得分咩？
So to the house of what benefit we get from the house of mourning?
所羅門去強調嘅，當我哋去嗰啲嘅地方，能夠對你人生有所領悟。
When you go to the house of mourning, we make our life maybe get awakened.
人生嘅終局。
And a wise for your life.
人生有一日面對終結，我應該點樣活我嘅人生？
When we at the end of the life, how are we going to live?
人生嘅終局，當我哋離開呢個地方，我哋會去到邊度？
At the end of life, where we could go to go?
乜嘢叫意義嘅人生？
What is a meaningful life?
原來我哋每一個人，我哋都唔係完美啊！
We are not perfect for sure.
但係如果當我哋不斷活我哋人生，周圍有人提點你，我哋成為我哋一種嘅醒悟，去不斷去改善我哋嘅人生，讓我哋嘅人生喺永恆裏邊活得更有意義。
If someone rebuke you and give you a wise, and we are aware of them and keep improvement in life, then we till the end of life,
呢個係所羅門所強調嘅一個有意義、一個蒙恩嘅人生。
This is what Solomon means is a meaningful life and a pleasing life.
弟兄姊妹，今日喺我哋周圍嘅有人去提你，你通常會點樣去回應？
So nowadays, when someone give advice to you, how would you respond?
你去 defense， 你去繼續去爭持你覺得好嘅嘢。
You may try to defend what you think is good for you.
定係你會去諗下點樣去改善？
Or you may think about, is there any way I can improve?
以致你係有突破。
And so you have a breakthrough in your life.
我哋有時會同啲細路去打波。
Sometimes we drop my kids to ball games.
同阿 James 去打波係好有趣嘅。
So bring James, play ball game with with James is really interesting.
佢好努力去打。
He tried to play really hard.
佢有學過，但係咧佢會用自己方法去打。
However, he tried to use his own way.
佢啲方法咧，又係真係好難接佢啲波。
The way he plays actually is quite difficult for us to play with him.
但係佢啲方法係唔係即係正路？
But it's not the way he played the game is not the proper way though.
佢好得意，佢好 enjoy 咗呢種方法，但係如果佢要繼續去有突破嘅時候，係好有限制。
Even though he can keep on using playing that way, but there will be restriction for him to proceed further.
我好中意有時睇下上網有啲 coach 點教人去打波。
So I like to search on the internet how coach teach the player.
哇！咁咪有時係自己落場又試下得唔得？不過即係而家啲氣走唔到咁多啫嘛。
And I try to follow the way and see if they work.
咁我即係有時喺改進你自己即係知道個唔同嘅地方喺邊度，有即係幾開心。
And I try to find out what's the difference from what make a difference from those advice.
一來越嚟越打，我就少咗因為打波而帶俾我嘅周身骨痛。
And when I exercise that way too, they improve in my health.
即係我早期陪佢哋打波跟住我有網球手，但係而家就冇呢啲嘢出現啦。
In the past, when I go with them for the game, I still have the tennis arm, but now I don't have it anymore.
弟兄姊妹，我哋可以自己去玩好開心，但係可能換嚟嘅時候，長期可能你又手痛又點樣，但係當你係留意自己點樣去改進，慢慢去善用，跟住你人生裏邊有突破㗎。
When we don't practice properly, then we may be harmful to our health. But when we know how to do it properly, then our life or even our health will get improved.
我哋由細喺街打羽毛球打到大嘅。
So we play badminton just on the street.
因為香港喺街又可以打，樓下可以打㗎嘛。
We play badminton anywhere.
我哋只不過打返轉頭啫。
And the strategy is just whatever we just bat it back.
哇！原來打羽毛球都好多招數啊！
Actually, there's another technique to play badminton.
點樣用潑水嘅方法去拉個波喺第二邊
There's so many different techniques there.
原來我哋以前猛咁用臂力去打翻個反手，原來有啲叫 drop， 跟住避落去，個反手嘅力強啲喎。
So in the past, we just use our shoulder to put it back, but actually maybe a different technique.
原來喺我哋周圍有好多嘅嘢係不斷，我哋可以 get used to， 亦都活我哋嘅人生。但係如果我哋有留意、有改進，我哋嘅人生可能就不一樣。
So maybe we can get used to something and never change, but if we can learn something and improve our life, then our life will be transcend.
如果我哋留意喺周圍嘅時候，上帝俾我哋嘅信息，而我哋有所改進嘅時候，我哋人生可能已經不一樣。
And if we pay attention to the message from God and we take their wise, our life may be different.
大衛喺詩篇23篇佢咁樣話：神神使佢嘅靈魂甦醒，為自己嘅名引導我走義路。
So King David mentioned in Psalm 23, He restored my soul, He guided me in path of righteousness for His name's sake.
原來上帝不斷係同一個人去提醒、去表達，但係我哋有冇留意？但係如果我哋有留意，我哋嘅心靈有一種嘅醒悟，我哋有一種嘅躍進，我哋走一條就真正蒙恩嘅路。
So actually God keep remind us and alert us to be aware that we aware and take the actions, then our life we get on placing that path.
真正智慧嘅人喺佢人生裏邊有冇醒覺？
So a wise man be a wise man, we have to be aware in our life.
喺你人生裏邊有冇留意到上帝去提醒你？
Do you aware and be awakened by God?
或者喺你嘅人生裏邊，上一次上帝對你人生嘅提醒係幾時？
Did you aware when your last time God sent you a message to awaken?
會唔會我哋已經忽略咗上帝對你嘅提醒，以致我哋走緊一條愚昧人嘅路？
Are you ignoring the message from God and then we following the path or the way of the fool?
當我哋再睇第7章嘅時候，智慧。
When we look further in chapter 7 about wisdom.
所羅門去強調智慧係帶俾佢好處同埋佢有益處。
So King Solomon emphasized that the wisdom will bring good thing and benefit to you.
真正領受人生嘅智慧係佢人生一個最大嘅祝福。
Understand what wisdom is such a great blessing for him.
所羅門話：如果呢一個智慧嘅人能夠對你人生產生一種保障。
So as a wise man, the wisdom is a shelter for him.
一個智慧嘅人能夠行喺正確嘅道路嘅時候，係你一個保障。
So a wise man walk in the righteous way is a benefit for him.
面對一啲嘅事，你點樣回應，可能令到你人生走另一個嘅危險。
How to respond may bring you into a different situation in your life.
頭先我哋提到喺一個演唱會裏邊個 CEO 同埋嗰個 human resource 嘅個 manager 可能完咗會唔會影響到佢將來嘅工作？
So earlier we mentioned the cheating of CEO and the executive of the company. Do you think they will impact their
但係如果佢一早好留心睇傳道書嘅時候，留意自己嘅真正嘅美名嘅時候，好緊守嘅時候，佢呢啲婚外情唔會影響佢，佢就保護自己，保護佢嘅家人。
We will pay attention to the Ecclesiastes that they should have a good name, then they will protect themselves from getting into that situation.
最慘唔係佢哋兩個。
Actually, the worst thing is not just this thing impact to them.
最慘係個男士嘅太太。第一樣俾人訪問。
And actually the worst thing is the wife of the CEO was interviewed.
智慧帶動我哋喺生活上邊能夠得到祝福。
So wisdom should bring us to a way that our life get a blessing.
但係你會留意經文嘅時候，所羅門唔係滿足係咁樣嘅情況。
And however, when we look at the scripture, King Solomon does not stop there.
嗱，所羅門都強調佢話你要察看神嘅作為。
And Solomon also said, consider what God has done.
原來真正嘅智慧帶俾我哋好處嘅時候，我哋會留意造物主喺生活上面喺你人生嘅裏邊，佢嘅作為係乜嘢？
And the wisdom brings the benefit and also lets to see what God has done for us.
或者我哋去體會到人生有冇一啲嘅重要嘅嘢，我哋要留意。
And let us to understand something important in our life that we have to pay attention.
所羅門佢咁話，因為神使為曲的，誰能變為直？
Solomon said, who can straighten what he has get crooked?
所羅門唔係同你講緊嘅取向。
So Solomon is not talking about the orientation.
所羅門去體會到，原來人唔能夠改變神嘅一啲嘅作為。
Actually, King Solomon tried to tell us that man cannot change God's word.
明白？但好慘啊！我哋最中意睇哪吒，係咪？
So unfortunately, we will try to look at the movie. They talk about all this goodness.
你知道哪吒背後所講嘅神唔係我哋所信嘅神啊嘛。
And lots of all this movie or drama is talking about the God is not they're not the gods that we believe in.
佢背後所講嘅神又貪污又嘅奸詐係咪？
Actually, the God they mentioned in those movies actually really human nature.
係咪啊？所羅門一個咁有智慧、咁有權力嘅皇帝，但係佢察覺到一件事，雖然佢咁有權力、咁有才幹，但係佢唔可以改變神自己一切嘅定律。
So even King Solomon is such a wise man with wisdom and the power. He realized that he cannot change anything God had made.
所羅門喺觀察裏邊可以留意第二樣嘢，人不能預知將來嘅事情，所以佢咁話：神使這兩樣並列，為的是叫人察不出身後嘅事。
So Solomon also know that we will know our future, and he said God has made the one as well as the other. Therefore, man cannot discover anything about his future.
有好多嘢我哋唔知點解，我哋睇唔明，我哋好容易睇我哋而家目前去做一個嘅回應。哎呀，神都唔幫我放棄。但可能背後有神自己更好嘅美意。
So sometimes when we look at nowadays and then we conclude that God didn't help us and we gave up and actually we don't know about the future. We don't know what are the plan of the God.
如果我哋再睇嘅時候，所羅門話：你持守這個為美，那個也不要鬆手，因為敬畏神嘅人必從這兩樣出來。
Solomon also said it is good to grab the one and not let go to the other. The man who fear God will avoid all extremes.
原來所羅門去提嘅時候，人生裏邊好容易走兩邊嘅極端。
And also, Solomon told us it's easy for us to go either extremes.
只管敬畏神，呢個係常說。
Actually, the only way to avoid that is to get fear of God.
所羅門講咁多嘅事情，係透過觀察嘅時候，可以留意原來呢啲嘅觀察係一個叫做屬靈嘅好處。
So through all this observation, Solomon concluded this is all spiritual benefit for us.
呢種嘅觀察係帶動人去更敬畏神、更愛神、更能夠去尊重我哋嘅主。
So all this observation can lead us to love our God and respect God.
原來一個真正智慧帶俾你嘅好處，能夠認識呢位造物嘅主宰。
Now the wisdom brings us the benefit is we can know the God even better.
敬畏耶和華係智慧嘅開端，認識至聖者就係聰明。
Fear the God is actually the beginning of the wisdom.
弟兄姊妹，你嘅人生係乜嘢？
Brother and sister, how are you going to
你
live
以
your
乜
life?
嘢為你所滿足、所追求？以為乜？你追求乜嘢係你人生最大嘅祝福？
So what you're tracing or pursuing is you think is a benefit to you.
以賽亞書裏邊有一句咁樣嘅説話。
The book of Isaiah told us.
以賽亞話：主雖以艱難給你當餅，以困苦給你當水。你嘅教師卻不再隱藏，你眼必看見你嘅教師。你或向左或向右，你必聽見後邊有聲音，這是正路，行在其間。
Isaiah said, although the Lord give you the bread of adversary and the water of affliction, your teacher will be hidden no more. With your own eye you will see them. Whether you turn to right or turn to left, your ear will hear a voice behind you saying, This is the way, walk in it.
智慧嘅人唔係佢人生冇問題。
A wise man is not a man without any issue in their life.
而係喺問題嘅當中，唔單止去祈求上帝將個問題攞開。
When they have problem in life, it's not just ask the God to take away all their problems.
如果只係得到咁樣嘅保障，你只係人生只係等待你下一個嘅禍患嚟到，你又再求上帝將你攞開。
That's what people usually expect, and what we get actually is coming problems in their life and ask God to take away.
所羅門強調一個真正嘅祝福智慧，讓我哋能夠察覺呢位造物嘅主嘅作為，以致我哋能夠行喺一條正路。呢個就係帶俾我哋一個真正嘅祝福。
Actually, Solomon told us, as a wise man, we need to know what God has done for us and then walk on the righteous path. This is what to bring the wisdom guide us to.
唔係我哋想向左或者向右，讓我哋嘅路交俾上帝，聽上帝喺你人生裏邊嘅帶領。
Actually, it's not our decision to turn left or right. Actually, we should let the God to guide us the way to go.
人生會有好多嘅挑戰，揾工啊、讀書啊、
There's a lot of challenge in life. Doesn't matter
婚
you.
姻啊，好多嘅事情喺我哋人生挑戰。
Doesn't matter when you try to look for work or in your study or even about your marriage issue.
我哋會覺得乜嘢係好，乜嘢唔好。
We may know what's good and bad.
但我哋要當應用喺所羅門提我哋唔係上帝，我哋唔知道將來。
But Solomon reminds us that we are not the God. We don't know the future.
如果你以為好嘅，可能將來你喺個當中唔係對你人生係好。
You think it's benefit to you now, but in the future, maybe not so.
與其我哋唔知道將來乜嘢係好唔好嘅時候，我哋係咪亂去撞？
When we don't know what will happen to us in the future, then we just pick whatever we want.
所羅門提我哋一樣，我哋就將我哋嘅人生交俾呢位嘅主去掌管一切。佢知道乜嘢對我哋好，我哋只學習邊條聽佢，邊條係正路，要行喺其中。
However, Solomon told us, we don't know the future, then we let the God guide us. We just need to listen, and it's the way we should go.
當你去揀選將來你讀乜嘢科，
When you want to decide which subject or we want to
學習
study,
交俾上帝。
learn how to delegate to your God.
可能你諗緊將來我畢咗業，我揾咩工？
Or you've been wondering, well, what job should I get after I graduate?
將你嘅人生交俾上帝。
Let the God to handle in your life.
可能你將來你嘅家庭、你嘅配偶，你點樣係好？將你嘅人生交俾上帝。
So in the future, you think, oh, what kind of spouse I should get? What kind of family I should have? Let all this, give it to God.
可能神俾你嘅嘢係超過你所求所想，係咪？
And the God may give you more than what you expect.
慢慢留意緊，點解神帶你喺 city 度做嘢，係咪？
So yeah, pay attention to why God guide you to in such a different workplace.
係因為我年紀大，佢而家去 city 唔使咁辛苦。
Or just getting old and it's a government job is a good place to prepare for retirement.
因為即係你哋講嘅呀，通常 city 嗰啲工作係 hea 住做噶嘛，係咪啊？原來你哋講噶，聽你講見證，我聽翻嘅咋啊？
So yeah, it's
有咁多 city 喺度。
As a public servant, sometimes you just work in a place in a slow pace.
呢啲係咪我要我哋學習呢種，定係神有一啲更其他嘅美意喺背後？可能透過我知道點樣同 city 去做教會而家要丟嘅第二個 city， 我知道啲 city 文化同佢點樣傾偈係咪？而家你知道啦，所以點解揾你
？So instead of follow the culture, or you that want you to follow the workplace culture, or God want to guide you there, so you learn about the culture and try to deal with or change the culture.
智慧讓我哋揀選點樣去留意神嘅作為，去揀選一個屬靈嘅道路。
So God gave the wisdom, so we know how to pick the way of us that is beneficial to our spiritual.
最後一個階段，你會留意所羅門去話俾我哋聽，佢好努力去尋索智慧。
And also Solomon, he was also really eager to search for wisdom.
一個咁有智慧嘅人啊，神都話俾佢聽，你係世界最有智慧，都不斷去尋索智慧。
King Solomon, even God told him he was the wise man in the world, and he still tried to search for the wisdom.
所羅門喺傳道書將佢所觀察作咗一個嘅總結，作咗一個嘅心得講咗出嚟。
In the book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon concluded that what his observations.
佢話：我要得智慧，智慧卻遠離我，萬事之理離我甚遠，而且深最深誰能測透？
So all this I had by wisdom, and I said, I am determined to be wise, but this way was beyond me.
所羅門唔係話俾我聽，哎呀，橫掂我哋唔明白，唔好理咯，唔好諗咯，唔係。
No, someone's telling us, oh, we won't understand, then we just ignore it.
我哋喺追求，但我哋要明白人係有限。
And we have to discover it and try to search for it, but we should also know we have our limitations.
亦都所羅門會睇嘅就係神所造人原是正直，但人啊尋得好多個詭計出嚟。
And Solomon told us that this only have I found God make mankind upright, but men have gone to search for many schemers.
所羅門去尋索智慧嘅時候，個人都想有智慧，但係人原來喺尋索智慧嘅時候，好被人嘅罪性所影響。
For sure, everyone tried to search for the wisdom, but also in the process of searching the wisdom, we are also limited by our sinful nature.
呢種嘅罪性好似一個網絡，好似纏繞住我哋。
And those sinful nature become our snare.
當我哋面對試探、面對引誘、面對我哋自己嘅性格有限制，好似我哋逃唔出呢一種嘅魔障。
We are subject to temptation or tests that we cannot get rid of them.
呢個係咪人嘅人生？
This is the way we should live our life.
最後喺26節，所羅門咁樣講。
And at verse 26, Solomon concludes.
我哋一齊讀。
Maybe all read together.
佢話：我得知有等苦人比死還苦，他的心是網羅，手是鎖鏈，凡蒙神喜悅的，必能逃脫他；有罪的人卻被他纏住。嗱，人生嘅罪性換嚟，讓人喺痛苦嘅當中。
The sinful nature, in exchange, get us into lots of sorrow.
呢個唔係神所期望。
But this is what God expects happen to us.
神所期望嘅係讓我哋能夠學習成為一個主所喜悅嘅人，能夠從我哋嘅軟弱嘅裏邊跳翻出嚟。
And God wanted us to be a present people and jump out from all this sorrow.
當我哋尋索智慧嘅時候，我哋會越嚟越發覺人係有限，人個罪性好似一種嘅捆綁。我哋應該點樣處理？
When we try to search for the wisdom, we realize that man's wisdom is very limited, and our sinful nature is hindering our search for wisdom. How are we going to deal with them?
好似有一啲嘅嘢，我哋知道唔應該做，好似當面對嘅時候，我哋唔能夠抗拒。
There's something we know we should not do, but anyway, when it comes, we cannot resist it.
可能係性格，可能係一啲嘅試探。
Is this impacted by our character, or maybe there's some temptation we're facing?
點解所羅門話主所喜悅嘅人能夠逃脫呢啲嘅事情？
Then why God said that? Someone say that those who please God can free from all this scenario.
原來一個真正智慧嘅人唔係判斷，我咁樣做我會有即時嘅好處，或者我哋有咩嘅結果，而係我哋願意做一個，如果呢件事神要我咁樣做，神喜悅咁樣做，我就咁樣做。呢個就係我哋智慧人要持一個好緊要嘅一個嘅鎖匙，開動一個蒙福嘅人生。
So as a wise man, we just not on the short-term immediate benefit, rather than we have to look at what God benefit is going to ask us to follow and try to get the key or get the way to follow the path.
所以所羅門喺箴言裏邊佢咁話。
There's a reason Solomon also mentioned in the proverb.
你要專心仰賴耶和華，不可依靠自己嘅聰明，在你一切所行嘅事上都要認定他，他必指引你嘅路。不要自以為有智慧，要敬畏耶和華，遠離惡事。
So King Solomon said, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil.
原來人嘅智慧，可能我哋覺得，哎呀，我用啲嘅少嘅聰明，我用啲 tricky 嘅方法，可能得到而家，哎呀，我哋可以俾少啲錢，我哋可以得到好啲嘅，啲係咪你人生嘅智慧？
So when we use our wisdom, we try to find out what's the trick to get some benefit. But is that the way? 呢啲嘅智慧可能換嚟你嘅人生嘅取向越嚟越敗壞。We only rely on this kind of wisdom that will get our life destroyed.
真正人生嘅智慧，去學習去敬畏耶和華，遠離惡事，係你人生，係你將來嘅家庭一生蒙福嘅渠道。
And actually, the true wisdom is we need to get it. We need to fear the Lord and shun evil, and it will bring the blessing to our life and also to our families.
每一個人都好想俾人話我好聰明。
Everyone, for sure, you want to be praised that we are such a wise person.
每個人都好想去追求智慧。
Everyone, for sure, to try to get the wisdom.
我哋要釐定乜嘢係智慧。
However, we have to find out what the true meaning of wisdom.
你衡量嘅智慧係咪上帝所衡量嘅智慧同一個嘅標準？
Our definition of wisdom is that the same definition God measured to us.
今日就算所有嘅人話你好有智慧，上帝係咪話你好有智慧？
Even though everyone have told us to you that you are the wise man,
將來我哋嘅結局去到上帝嘅面前，上帝去點樣衡量我哋嘅終結？
And actually, one day when you come before the Lord, and how God will conclude your life.
上帝俾你嘅評語係：你好有智慧，你哎呀，你呃咗好多人啊，你好叻啊咁，定係你好有智慧，你能夠面對試探，能夠遠離，能夠持守佢所交付你嘅原則、生活嘅智慧，能夠喺凡事上邊去敬畏佢，遠離惡事。
So would you expect that God would tell you that, or you are such a wise man to use all this trick to fool people, or you are such a wise man that you follow me and fear me?
所羅門鼓勵我哋追求智慧。
Solomon asked to trace for the wisdom.
一個真正嘅智慧喺生活裏邊不斷有醒覺，不斷去追求屬靈嘅好處，以致你生命能夠行喺一條蒙恩嘅道路。
So wisdom should lead us to awaken it in our life, and also lead us to a spiritual benefit and help us to find a path to holiness.
你要點行你嘅路？
How to work on the path and to trace or to pursue
你
the
點
wise
樣
life.
讓上帝喺你人生嘅路裏邊去同你一齊行？
How to let God to work with you in when you are pursuing the wise life.